Hey everybody, another noodle review. I know I did one this week, but that was just because. This is an official Rose ramen review. So, in ramen cuisine, there are 4 basic stock types. Now, this is going to be wrong. Somebody's going to correct me. Fine, do it in the comments. Get me some interaction. SIO, shio, salt, which is salt, miso, which is miso, shoyu, which is soy sauce, and tonkotsu, not tonkatsu, tonkotsu, which is pork broth. So salt, soy, miso, and basically bone broth, pork bone broth. Those can then be flavored, so you can have shio with seafood, scallops or shrimp or whatever. You can have shio with chicken. So it's not just one flavor, it's kind of like a base, and then you can manipulate it. The only thing I think that the tonkotsu is only ever tonkotsu because it's literally made out of pork broth, or pork bones. That's the thing. So today, out of the Nissin 50th anniversary set that all of you so kindly bestowed upon me, today I'm trying the shio, which is, this is a salt broth ramen. This one is a little fancier. It has like a little packet here, or as the Aussies would say, a sachet, because they're fancy, of olive oil. It actually says olive-like oil, but I think that this is basically an olive oil, and it goes on top of the noodles once they're cooked. And this is, I did a little auto-translate on this. This is a chicken, basil, black pepper, salt broth. So originally, salt broth was created to appeal to European tastes. So whereas, maybe people didn't know shoyu, or know miso, or know this kind of fermented soy flavor, they went, everybody likes salt, let's just use pure salt. So the broth in these things is supposed to be kind of light, not a heavy broth. But what Nissin is doing here is adding basil, chicken, black pepper. Black pepper and basil did not exist in, ancient Japan prior to westernization. I'm pretty sure they didn't. So those are flavorants that, again, I'm going to think are more Italian or more European. Basil, again, that's the only thing I know basil from is Italian cooking. So, blah, 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 blah. This is an overall, it's a fusion of a fusion of a fusion. So, this is one that I definitely wanted to try. I'm kind of done with the really hot ones for a while. I'm not enjoying them, so I want something that I'm hopefully going to enjoy. I also did a little read-up on why the lids have the little kitty cats on them. Meow, meow, meow. And they have, basically what it is that they have added these 2 little tabs, which obviously that suggests ear, so why not put a little kitty face on there? That's great. But they've changed the tops of the containers. I think originally they were like a plastic coated paper that were not recyclable. So now this is aluminum. Tear this off, this goes in the aluminum recycling. My challenge, because I know that Nissin, you're watching every one of my videos because they're so important, and obviously you're basing your company going forward on what I'm saying about stuff. Work on developing a 2-walled aluminum cup, because this is styrofoam. It holds heat well, horribly not recyclable, causes microplastics to go into all the waterways. Other than the fact that it's lightweight, it's cheap, and it's relatively sturdy for what it is. You could imagine a football-shaped balloon of aluminum that you then compress so that it's got a wall that is a vacuum, so it works like a igloo cup or a Yeti cup. So aluminum cup, aluminum top, save the planet, instant ramen noodles. You're welcome. So that is the little kitty. There is apparently a Mongolian desert fox, which you only have a 6% chance of getting one of those. Not like there's a contest or anything. But you know, I'm okay with kitties. But if I do get a Mongolian desert fox, you're going to know it. So I'm going to set this up here and go ahead and open up the little packet of olive oil. There are some little olives on there. It's one of the strangest things when I was in Japan. I had a couple of friends come over, and one friend I knew quite a bit and knew quite well. She was a student of mine, and then the other was her friend, her close friend, and I made them basically pasta with vegetables and mushrooms and olives and stuff like that. And her friend had no concept of an olive. She had never had one. And I didn't know the Japanese word, and this is prior to smartphones, prior to being able to quickly look things up. So it's really hard to describe an olive to someone if you don't have that baseline understanding. Yeah, I think they're a fruit, but they're not really treated like fruit. They're usually savory, salty, whatever. The olive oil, I know that Japanese people know olive oil, they understand it. But to actually explain what the fruit is or what the object is, it's kind of challenging. So that was a little something there. So right out of the gate, we have little hunks of what appear to be dehydrated chicken, little carrot. There is some sort of a green there. It's actually kind of a nice little leafy green there. There we go, so you can see that. What else do we have? There's a little egg, a little nice scrambled egg, and shio broth is supposed to be kind of light. It's not supposed to be heavy, rich. It's supposed to be like you're literally tasting a very light flavor and you're just tasting the ingredients. So, okay, so I put the little bit of olive oil on there. Okay, just tastes like oil. Best olive oil I've ever had. I had some Spanish olive oil once and was blown away because it tasted so completely different from everything that I've ever had in the United States. The predominance of what we eat in the United States is vegetable oil that's colored. So Spanish olive oil was game-changing, but unfortunately it's hard to actually get here in a trustworthy source. So there we go. So this is Nissin SIO. Again, black pepper. I'm getting a slight basil chicken. It's very light, it's pleasant, but there's not a lot going on. So since the broth is kind of the key thing here, I am going to try the broth first. And it's absolutely delicious. Salty, there is definitely salt, but light. That oil gives it a little mouthfeel. One of the BS things that you'll hear every cook on YouTube try to throw around is fat is flavor. Fat is not flavor. Fat is a carrier for flavor, and fat holds flavor on your tongue and in your mouth longer. So if you have a flavor like lemon that tends to, you taste it and it goes away, if you put a little fat with a lemon, as in a lemon vinaigrette, it will hold it on to your tongue longer and you'll sense more of it, and it also smooths things out. But fat in its own is not flavorful usually, and even if you use a meat fat, what you're tasting is the smoke or whatever that's in it. You're not tasting the actual fat. And all this fat is flavor, bull hockey. What that is greasy. And if your food tastes greasy, that's not flavorful, that's badly prepared. Ha! Also, don't add pasta water to your sauce because that's just stupid. So, here we go. Try some noodles. Nissin SIO. Itadakimasu. Very light, especially with the noodles. Very light flavor. Good, very, very, very tasty. After all the super hot stuff that I haven't been able to enjoy, this is nice. Very cold winter day. This is lovely. So that was a piece of the. Sorry, I do the thing that's probably rude, but it helps get air in. It's like aerating wine. That is the dehydrated chicken, which honestly, if that were in a survival ration or something that you took camping, that's delicious. It actually, you could use dehydrated chicken, mix that with a little mayo or something, and it would make a perfectly acceptable field chicken salad. So good job Nissin for knowing how to dehydrate meat correctly. I'm kind of getting a kind of a cross-cultural thing where part of me wants this to be shoyu or miso ramen because I'm used to that flavoring. But this has like more of the basil. Definitely, there's a chicken element to it, but it's not overly chickeny. The salt is really kind of the main flavorant. Mm. And the basil is there, but it's very light. It's not overwhelming. I don't care for basil. I feel like I'm not going to say that. I like basil when it's balanced with other things. But if you're going to overload my pasta with basil or overload my pasta with oregano, overload my pasta with oregano. I'm much more into that flavor. I think it's one of the reasons I don't care for pesto, is that a lot of times it's too much basil. Yeah, this is flat out good. I think this version of it is a limited edition for the box set. But if not, if you can get just the shio noodles, these are really good. They taste really. The smell is nice. And that's actually potato. So there are little cubes of chicken and little cubes of potato. It's almost like, someone at Nissin said, hey, Brian and Rose are going to eat these noodles. Let's throw some potatoes in there. Just a little kick. Here you go, Brian. That's for you, buddy. So I went on the Nissin website, and just to verify a suspicion that I've had for a while that America, the United States gets all the shitty noodle flavors. And then I see like Mexico and Brazil and all this, all their flavors sound amazing. They just sound so much cooler. And with us, it's just like, here, it's air and nothing, and enjoy that, And it's just, again, it's like, it's because we have focus groups here. It's because we have too many goddamn focus groups. And so everybody's at Heron, associates, and yeah, you could make a decent noodle, but there's that one person who's just, I don't like flavor. Why do you have to make everything have flavor? So yeah, American Nissin noodles, just not my jam. You always get that one straggler that hangs out underneath the other ones and makes you embarrassed on your video as you're trying to film yourself being cool and slurping noodles like a true Japanese person. And there's that one noodle's like, oh no, you're not, jackass. Egg, chicken, that's kind of cruel. Potato. Let's see if we can tell what the green is. Maybe a cabbage. Would say like a cabbage. It's nice. It's nice to be eating noodles that I'm actually really enjoying and that I'm not fighting. Again, I have fun with the super hot ones. I have fun with even the pumpkin spice ones or whatever. That's fun, but this is enjoyable. So, and that broth is still freaking hot. So, be warned. Styrofoam doing its job, but aluminum with a vacuum core would do an even better job than Nissin. And of course, has to hit the back of my throat, make me cough. Yeah, these are good. Pardon me. So I will leave it at that. These are the, I believe, special edition 50th anniversary shio. You can see their little pepper grinder. So Again, I'm not really tasting a huge amount of black pepper. Maybe there's enough, or maybe I like a lot of black pepper, so I'm used to it. One thing that I can tell you real quickly is if there's too much white pepper in something, man, can't eat it. White pepper, when I used to cook, the only time we used white pepper was one restaurant I worked at where we actually did real cream sauces. In a real cream sauce, you want to use white pepper so you don't get black specks in it. But they're using a very minimal amount in a large amount of milk and butter and flour, which have very deadening capabilities, but they deaden the flavor of stuff you put in there. So if you put in some white pepper, which tends to have this almost acidic sharpness to it that I don't care for, it's fine in a small amount. But I prefer, it's one of the reasons that I like American biscuits and gravy, is that you get the pepper from the sausage, but you also get the black pepper that you add on into it and onto it, and then onto it again right before you eat it. So I just like black pepper. So these are good. So I'm going to drink the rest of this broth off camera. Thanks again to everyone who chipped in and helped make this a reality. One thing, if I have a request this time, please share my channel. Please share my videos. I don't want to say I don't care that I don't get new viewers, but I want new viewers. Everybody kind of does. And honestly, I just want to kind of do this longer, and it would be helpful if, I could. But other than that, I don't have any really big words of wisdom. It's cold here still, but we got some snow last week, but I don't know if we're going to get any more for a while, so streets are clear. Hopefully everybody's safe. Still winter, so fighting the seasonal something depression, what they call it, SAD, S-A-D. I don't remember what that middle part is, but I just don't like this part of winter. I want it to be 2 months from now, or I want it to be when I can start going to the drive-in again. Because believe it or not, that's becoming, used to be when I was a kid, it was like you wait for your birthday or you wait for Christmas. Now it's like I'm waiting for the drive-in to start, So I hope you're all doing well. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.